Okay, hello. I'm here today because I feel like I am due for a spiritual cleansing. Because lately I feel like I've just been feeling so freaked out and so irritable and so easily pissed off. So today, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna talk about why I think I've been freaking out for like this past however long I've been freaking out for, and then I'm gonna go through my journals and talk about what I think about each of them because maybe I'll it's like a release, like maybe I can let it all out that way. But why do I think I'm freaked out? Oh, oh, I feel like I'm freaked out because the main thing is I have to do this project for school and it's like a really major project and I think I'm just like freaking myself out over it because I really want it to be it doesn't have to be good, but it has to be something that I like. So maybe it doesn't have to be good, but I don't know. I just like I don't. I just it has to be. I don't know. I think I just had a meeting with my. I finished my initial draft for it last Friday, and um the draft is not good. It's very not good. It's very bad. But it's I think in finishing that draft, it's probably sort of shown me like how far away I am from my ultimate goal, and that distance is freaking me out a little bit, I think, because I see like all the work I have to do, and it's a lot of work, and it's gonna be very hard. And I know I have it in me to do it. I know I can do it. If I really just like sit down and do it and put my head into it. But it could be difficult. And that's one reason why I'm freaking out. Another reason why I'm freaking out, kind of related, but lately I just feel bad at everything I do. I just feel bad. What are the things I've been doing? I guess like one thing is writing, or like I'm very bad at writing because this whole week I've just been avoiding writing. So that's like the worst thing you could do as someone who's trying to write is just not write at all. So right now I'm like rock bottom, worst of the crop, terrible at writing. I can change that if I actually just sit down and start writing. Um which I would do after I clear my spiritual debts with this video. But that's one thing that I feel bad at. Another thing I feel bad at, ice skating. I used to ice skate a lot. And then I went to the ice rink. I haven't skated in like many years. So obviously I'm not as good. But it's just like coming face to face with like this frustration. Like you want to do stuff, but your body, your mind, like there are just limits imposed on every person, whoever it was. And it's so frustrating when your desires out something the limit. You know what I mean? Like your desire and your ambition and your aspirations are just way bigger than the limit. Um so I feel like I've just been feeling that like coming like it just feels like that. You know what I mean? I'm just like coming across the thing and I want so bad to like be so much better, but I'm just like and I start freaking out. I really do start freaking out. And I think probably the other part that's making me freak out is just that, like, it's just been lonely. I think it's just been lonely, and it just feels lonely, and sometimes you just really feel it. Um, Not even in a like I've been talking to my friends, and it's been nice, and I'm very lucky to be able to talk to them in the way that I can. But I think we're just all at this age right now where no one really knows what they're doing, and it feels like everyone's just kind of like floating around and like hoping for the best, and I feel like everyone's just like on their own path in a little bit. There's like some sort of like spiritual emotional distance going through everyone right now, just because we're all like freaking out to a degree. I feel like we're all trying to figure it out, and we're all freaking out because it's hard. And we're just trying to like get used to it. It's a period of acclimation, and it's hard for everyone, I think. And for me too, I think there's like this added layer of just like literal physical distance, because a lot of the people I'm closest to at this moment are just like far away from me. Like people are in Europe. People, my mom's in Argentina. People are in New York. People are in California. People are in Michigan. People are all over. I'm not. I'm not in any of these places or states that I just mentioned, by the way. So I feel like that's kind of just something that's also been weighing on me to a degree. But I started talking to like my friends about it. I feel like that's been really helpful and validating, because I think everyone is sort of feeling a bit of this kind of loneliness right now, and I'm very grateful to like all the people in my life that I can talk to about this. But I don't know. I think I've just been freaking out lately because of just like these frustration. Like I think everything just feels like very frustrated. Like I wanna, I wanna do these things, or I want things to be another way than they are. So I'm just like constantly running up against this like frustration of things not being as I want them to be, or as I hope for them to be, which on it's like you're always gonna have that at any point in life. You're gonna experience a level of that, but I think I'm just experiencing that in like many different sectors of my life right now, and the result is that I just get really pissed off easily. I don't do anything. I don't do anything when I get pissed off. Like I don't get mad at anyone. I just like mutter under my breath like, "Don't make me pissed off right now," even as I'm like getting pissed off. I don't know. I just I'm not a violent person. I don't do anything when I get mad, but it definitely just like um affects how I'm feeling, obviously, because I'm the person who's feeling it. But I don't know. I need to like make peace with everything. um, and like some part of me feels like if I sort of like go through my journals, because I like wanted to talk about my journals anyways. Um, I'll like calm me down, because I think just like there's a level of like me seeing where I've come from, and like how I've gone about this world, and like seeing like all the things that have built up to me being in my present moment, that I think is feels kind of like fulfilling or satisfying or cathartic, because it's like I made it all that through all that, so like things really will be very fine and very normal. And objectively, I think I'm at like one of the like best point. Like I do think I like feel probably like right now. If this is my life, I'm like up here, compared to like, because there's been points where we've been like here, but I feel like I'm at like one of the better points in my life right now. So like everything really is very normal and fine and regular for once in my life, but still I feel an oddness and a strangeness, and it's just a frustrating force. There's just so much pent up frustration, and as a result I freak out and I get pissed off, and that's just what happens. I'm so sorry, but I cannot help it. It's just what goes on. So we're gonna start going through my journals. I also want to go through my journals because it's kind of crazy, right? I I'm I've I'm on like my seventh journal now since 2020. And I feel like that hasn't been, maybe that's normal to some people, but I'm just like, I don't know. That seems like an absurd number for me. Like so much has gone on, and sometimes I don't really like think about it or look at. But let me show. We have all these journals over here. I'm gonna go through them and let y'all know what I think about each one of them and give you my thoughts on my journals and in another sense also my life. Number one, this is, I've been keeping journals since I was like 9, 10 years old. So this is like the sixth main journal that I've kept in my life. I honestly was thinking of not including this because it's not the one that starts in 20. This is like a weird journal. A lot happened, but I did not write anything down except for like some nights where I would just like sit literally in the seat that I'm at right now and journal for like 15 pages straight. So you get these like very detailed glimpses into specific moments in my life, and then all the rest is, it's just like blank. Because this journal literally spans 4 years, basically. It goes from October 2016 to uh, to like the very beginning of 2020. What was I doing? I was not writing. This is so weird. It's just like a stupid little journal. Okay, I'm gonna see if there's anything. Like April 14th, 2017, 1:23 a.m. I started watching 13 Reasons Why last night. Like, why did I feel the need? I would feel the need to write down like the weirdest little um things. But I want to include this journal because it sort of talks about the beginning of college a little bit. Um, some of this stuff is bad. Some of these journal entries I just start with like, today was not good. Today was kind of bad. Today, blah, 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 blah. What's like a fun one I can say? Okay, now that I'm actually looking at this is kind of this is kind of a bleak journal. There are like moments of like exhilaration and joy and euphoria, but I think this was definitely a period of my life where I was like journaling primarily when I felt like something bad. This one journal entry just starts, I give up. Oh my god. Guys. Hello, hello. I think I had 2 emotional breakdowns today. Like, I was freaking out here. But I was like 16 to 19. That's a very normal age to be freaking out at. Oh, this is when I was doing 100 push-ups a day. I was actually just telling my friend Kyle about how I did that because he's like starting a new push-up regimen for this year, or like has already been doing it. This is not. I made a list titled How I Messed Up Today. This is not the best. Okay, and now we're in like freshman year of college. It snowed. That's good. That's good that it snowed, and I was happy. Hmm. Okay, yeah, I was really freaking out in this journal. Quick updates, June 5th, 2019. I'm in a pyramid scheme. College is done. I still don't like school. I'm still stressed, but I don't know why. It's summer, but I'm not happy. What would it take for me to be happy? What would it take for me to be satisfied? I don't know what I want. Great, 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 great. Doing so good. Okay, but actually, um, 2019. Yeah, my birthday in 2019 was actually so fun though, and I write about it here a little bit. I'm like doing exclamation marks and happy faces. I wrote second happy day in a row! Exclamation mark. That's good for momentarily. Okay. Yeah. What do I think of this journal? January 20th, 2020. Happy New Year. 20 days late. Oh my god. Well, I honestly really feel this. At 8:49 p.m. that same day, I wrote, "The next few years of my life are gonna be the hardest. I just know it. I wish I could just skip forward 50 years and live out the rest of my days quietly. Maybe in a cabin in the woods, maybe in a cottage, maybe with a garden in the back to tend to." Oh damn. Okay, I go on. I used to want to be 26. This is a thought I went into sophomore year thinking, fresh off of watching Silicon Valley in its entirety and having decided to place 26, the age Richard Hendricks founded Pied Piper, on a pedestal, my mental milestone. But in romanticizing 26, the age has become a ticking clock. If I'm not successful by 26, well, then I'll have failed and I'll have run out of time, and that'll be it for the once coveted, highly sought over, shimmering life of Sabrina Lee. But more than just wanting to jump ahead, I'm scared. I'm scared I won't be successful. I'm scared I won't have any friends. And that's the last entry in here. Hmm. This book is a little bit crazy. It's just like weird and strange, I think, because it I like barely wrote in these years that like went on here, from what, like junior year, beginning of junior year of high school to like middle of sophomore year of college. That's a lot of years. A lot happened, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what. This is a weird, strange book. Ugh, this mix of like transition between high school and college is also just like, it's never easy for anyone. This one, final thoughts. Odd, off putting, offbeat, strange. Probably would not flip through again for a while. Okay, next one. This one is nicer. Just off the bat, like I know, like the ones like from this one onwards, I haven't really flipped through this one in a bit. I've like flipped through these other ones. I know a bit more about them. This one is nicer. This is a journal that my friend Rian gave me for my birthday is one of my years. So this is nice. It literally continues that journal entry from January 20th, 2020, and goes until like June 2020. So that was like the first summer of the pandemic, kind of. Um, yeah, I'm definitely just like, I feel like this is a journal where I'm like gaining self consciousness or self awareness in like a more real way than I had before. So like some of the stuff in here definitely kind of cringy to a degree, but you know, like never cringe at your past self because they didn't know any better. There was no other way that they could have done it besides the way that they did it, and it's only because that they did it that way that I get to be the person I am now. So there's a lot of appreciation I have for the selves that I'm being in all of these journals. Um, I also like I also sometimes like take notes for my classes in like this journal because I don't know. Some days I would forget to bring my other like my class journal like here and more class notes. So I just would take them in this. Or I would just like take notes for like anything. This is when like people were trying out for my comedy group and I had to like take notes on people's auditions. I don't know why I kept on forgetting. Maybe I didn't have a journal at that point. This is from the very beginning of quarantine. Dear Diary, all caps. It's day 4 of quarantine. Not quite sure why it's taken me this long to write. I think I keep putting it off because I haven't gotten my work done. But the thing is, I feel okay. I feel good. I haven't spiraled. It's been 4 days and I haven't spiraled. Corona. I don't want to say this. Good night. We'll write in the morning. Yeah, so this is just like March when quarantine first started happening. And then I was freaking out about my friendships here. And all caps. I still freak out. That's perhaps one of the constants in my life is probably I will always freak out at some point or another. And I was actually really freaking out in this journal because like somehow when Corona went down, that was also like when my life was being most dramatic in terms of like interpersonal relationships. So I was doing a lot of trying to get it out of my system and writing it down here and also writing because it was quarantine and there was nothing else to do. So that's why I'm also just like this is kind of I went this journal took me like 3.5-4 years to finish. This journal took me 3 months to finish, or six months. It's a big difference. Yeah, a lot of this stuff I feel like has to do with like specific people, so I don't want to read anything out loud. But yeah, this journal, a lot of self-reflection was being had in this journal. I feel like I'm like somber now. Like reading through, I'm somber. I'm literally somber. Yeah, I was beginning to self actualize, taking my very beginning initial steps towards self actualization, towards which I would probably take steps towards for the rest of my life and beyond. That's what this journal is. This journal is crazy. I was really going crazy. But in some way, I feel like I was like feeling more emotionally regulated in a sense that I did in this journal, because this journal it's very like erratic and like many like all dips, no ups, rarely an up. But this one, I feel like I'm more operating on like more neutral stance and situations were making me feel bad, but I could at least sort of like separate in my head like, okay, this is just the situation right now. Like, I'll be good later. That's this journal. This journal was fun. I think I think sometimes like like Marshall McLuhan, the medium is the message. I feel like sometimes the way that like the journal looks kind of affects how I write in it and like the mood that the journal ends up taking. Cause like this one, it just like this is very 2013 to me. Like this little moose antler thing with a top hat and a monocle. It's like what is going on? And that's kind of what I feel when I look in this journal. I'm just like, what is going on? I guess this journal is like more regular ish, but it's very colored with like relationships to me because like that's just what's going on. Like my relationships are kind of all like blowing up in this journal, but also is very tied to relationships because like my really good friend Rion gave this journal to me, and that's like the memory I have attached to this physical form. And this journal, I think I got it at Ross. I was like, this is so fun. This is like such a fun journal. After I got it, I was so excited to write in it. I got it in like high school. And then obviously, you know what happened in high school. I literally did not write in my journal. So, I didn't write in this journal until college. But this journal is actually like fun. And I feel like I'm like making little graphs and stuff in this journal. Just like being goofy. It goes from what? Yeah, this was when I just started reading The Bell Jar. I haven't read any other Sylvia Plath since then, but The Bell Jar, it really took a hold on me. So it goes from like middle of June 2020 to oh, this is a long entry. This is a really long entry. Oh, to Halloween. Okay. Oh wow. So I finished this journal in like 4 months. You see like the time frames I'm finishing these journals, like it's accelerating. Quarantine did something rambunctious to me. But I don't know. I was having fun in this journal. If I remember correctly, I feel like I started writing songs in this journal. This was like I learned guitar summer 2020, and then I started writing songs. I don't know. This is just like fun. What's a good one to read out loud? Notes from therapy. Um. This is all about specific people. um, oh yeah, like July 14th. Oh, is it not gonna focus? Whatever. July 14th, 2020, I said Sabrina's rule book of one rule or more. Number one, anyone can hate how I try to live my life like a show so long as community. Oh, wait. Wait, this is pointed. Wait, this is a jab. Never mind, never mind, never mind. I was still being a little bit of a hater. Um, but I was being goofier. I was like getting more involved with my college radio station at this point. I'd always been pretty involved. I got like more involved. I said Vroom Vroom is playing. Yeah, it's always playing at some points. Okay, maybe this was like less fun than I remembered in my head. There's not. I think this was like more fun later. This is when I decided I would learn physics from like the last time, even though the last time I had did physics was 6 years ago when I had like that was the first C I'd ever gotten in my life. So it was very real to me. Oh my god. Um okay, this is actually yeah, the content is like I think it's more I'm like more serious than I thought I was. But here's like my first song I ever wrote. Is it gonna yeah, this is my first song I ever wrote like officially September 2020. But I don't know. When I look at this journal, I just have like positive thoughts because um I feel like I just had a fun time writing in this journal because it like lays flat and we're using like different colored pens. I was just having like a good um I was just having a good time. More songs, more writing. Yeah, I was thinking about um myself in the theoretical more here. I was theorizing in this journal for sure. I feel like this was also when I was like seeing a lot of like anti-cap TikToks because I was on TikToks. I okay. Okay, this might be fun. October 11th, I made like a list of my phases because everyone goes through phases, right? So I just made a list of what my phases were. I had the I'm never gonna talk again phase. I've had enough phase. I'm gonna start a band phase. I'm gonna write a book phase. Everything is a simulation. Reality isn't real phase. I'm gonna do nothing phase. I hate the English language phase. I do not feel like a cohesive being phase. Um, my I despise the human ethers that bound me to this world, which make it impossible for me to ever exist truly outside of society phase. I can do anything I want phase. My body is a tool in a curse phase. I can see everyone's future phase. Anti-cap, anti-cap, anti-cap. Physics, my new religion phase. Humans are not complex phase. Western imperialism hate phase. Never going outside again phase. That pretty sums up this journal pretty well. I was thinking, I was theorizing, I was getting thoughts. I should have actually like been reading. These days I've been reading and I'm like, wow, reading is actually probably like the number one best way to get thoughts. But I did not realize that in this journal. I said I am being institutionalized as we speak. I wrote that in all caps. I was feeling a lot of frustration at communication, at how things are sort of like conflict centric. Oh, this was a good song. This was like the first song I wrote that I actually liked. What focus? I love this song. I wrote that. I can't tell. Yeah, that's like the very end of October. It's a good song. I had a good time. I'm writing about this fundraiser we did for college radio and how stressful it was, but also how it had this like these little drawings from group therapy. I like doodle during group therapy sometimes because it was all through Zoom. Like everything was on Zoom, so I was doodling all the time. This is cute. This is me going, I don't know, heart, heart, heart. And I love that. I love not knowing. There's just so much to know, and one person can never know it all, and that is my favorite thing. I love how little we know. That's cute. I was being sweet here. I was going through it sometimes, but I was also being sweet. I was making the most of it, I think. And at this very end, I'm writing about how for college radio, we like released a zine, like a virtual zine for Halloween. And it was really major because the last time we had released a zine before then was literally like 20 years, 20 plus years, maybe 25 plus years before that. So it was like called Revival and everything. And it was like really cool to be able to work on it and like put it together. I was like learning graphic design on the spot. It was good. It was cool. It was fun. That was this one. Um, this one I feel like I was thinking a lot here. I was being very serious. I even like marked the. I don't know why I marked this. Like, I looked back on it and I wrote down quotes from a book I was reading for school at the time, and it was so important. I was like, I need to mark it. But yeah, this I was thinking a lot. This is beginning of November 2020 to oh, almost a year to the end of September 2021. A lot was happening. Especially because this was like we had online school for like 2020 once everything started until like the end of spring 2021, and then after like May 2021 was when I started like going out into the world again on a more regular basis. So I was inside a lot. I was doodling during group therapy. I really liked writing like without lines because I think up till this point, yeah, pretty much all my journals had lines, but then this one didn't have lines. And I was like, that is so fun. I literally was like doodling, just like having a good time. Yeah, I mean, now that most of the things I write in these journals, like, I just write them for me, you know? So they're all about, like, people and the things going on and everything happening. There was Christmas. Christmas happened. I felt crazy. I felt crazy again. I'm going very crazy. I was starting to like learn calculus and math because I decided I want to be a physics major because they like made me declare my major, and I was like, guys, I literally don't know what I want to do. So then my answer to that was to just like declares something I definitely knew I didn't want to do to further evade making an actual choice. I was a math major for like a minute. I was a physics major for a minute. This is when I like came up with a theory of perception and I showed it to my psych teacher and he was like this is like viable. I haven't heard this before. You should do research and test it. And then I wanted to do it because I was like, it'd be crazy if I got my name in a textbook. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be crazy if I got my idea in a textbook. But then it's like, I just never set it up. I never did anything with it. But I still have my ideas. I still have my thoughts. I'm gonna keep on having thoughts for the rest of my life. I love thinking. This is when we were doing like heavy theorizing on like social media platforms, doing like media studies, armchair media studies. That's crazy. That was like the beginning of 2021. Oh my god. I was like watching, I think I was watching Toradora at this point and it was really freaking me out. And then Sophie passed away. Rest in peace. And then I was really, really, really freaking out because Sophie. I wrote Sarah Bareilles was the first artist I liked, but Sophie was the first artist I loved. Damn. I still do love Sarah Bareilles though. I really do love Sarah Bareilles. But Sophie, she was just so special. I was reading Fear of Flying. I have this quote from it. Suddenly I was public property in a small way. Fear of Flying is... I really like Fear of Flying. I've been reading that book again. I read it earlier this year. And I read the sequel, How to Save Your Own Life. I like both of them. Okay. And then March, maybe like late March, early April is like we're coming out of Sophie thing. Like early, I don't know, March, April I was coming out of it. And then I'm just freaking out about my little struggles and issues and problems. We contain multitudes. Yes, I agree. But yeah, here I was like starting to be a real person. I was also doing like little experiments. I think at one point with this book, I was like, let me just go the whole day without talking and without like consuming any form of media or like any sort of interaction. So I just spent that whole day just like journaling, literally the entire day, just walking around this house and journaling my thoughts because I could. Obviously, very lucky to be in that position to be able to do so. Oh, this summer I was. How many times did I read Fear of Flying? I had like a Fear of Flying quote in February, and then now also in June 2021, I'm saying I'm reading Fear of Flying. I must have taken a break. It's not a very long book. I've been getting better at reading lately, though. I really like getting better at reading. I was not as good as reading here. I used to read a bunch when I was a kid. So much. I would go through like a book a day, literally elementary, middle school, even early high school at some point. But then you just fall off. Even in middle school, at some points, I was falling off. But Oh, and then I turned 21. I turned 21. I read My Stars, The Destination, Alfred Bester for class. I was in a sci-fi class, taking notes on all these little books I was reading. I had never really read sci-fi before, and then that was um it I really liked it. I was like, this is so cool. I've never read anything like this. I was working ice skating camp that summer as a camp counselor. I visited my friend Ellen in Georgia for the first time, and then I started reading Infinite Jest. Oh, this was a turning point. Actually, okay, my friend Ellen always refers to like that point, that trip that I first took to visit her in Georgia as like a major turning point. She's like, something shifted that trip, and now that I see it in this book, yeah, actually, yeah, she's really right. Me reading Infinite Jest, that just opened up a whole can of worms. I wrote like all this theorizing about people who get it or don't get it, what getting it is. Um, we were theorizing. Me and Ellen, like, that girl's got my back. I love that girl. Yeah, it's crazy how my handwriting gets like so bad sometimes. Like you can tell when I feel crazy because my handwriting kind of reflects how crazy I'm feeling. Um, and that was basically it. Wow. This life heavy in my hands. Heavy in my hands. Crazy. This was I was really starting to theorize in this book. And that's really cool because I'm trying to I'm hopefully will be theorizing much more in the future. And yeah, I wanna theorize lots in the future. I'm trying to theorize now in the present moment. This is the book that really started it all for me in terms of theorizing. So it was like, yeah, late 2020, early 2021. No, early 2021 I think is when I really started theorizing as evidenced by the dates in this book. Wow, crazy. I think this is the book where I actually started like really thinking. Okay, let's review. This book was strange, weird. What is going on with her? This book I actually started self-reflecting in like a more real way. This book I was having a good time. I was self-reflecting more. I was learning lots of I was building my foundation to form future theories in this book and having a good time doing it and writing songs. I was having fun, even though sometimes I wasn't. I wasn't really having fun all the time. But when I had fun, it was fun. This book, we were theorizing, we were thinking. I was really thinking. Okay, this book, I like never remember what happens in this book. Like, it may seem like I don't remember any of these books that I've talked about so far, any of these journals. But like this one, I like actually each time it hits me by surprise. Also, I titled it "I Forget So Easy," so sometimes these I'm telling you, the medium is the message. Sometimes it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh my god. Oh, my grandpa passed away in this book. But yeah, this was September 2021 to oh, is this it's right before summer. September 2021 to June 2022. Okay, so that's like 9 months. this was the first year we were back on campus after COVID. Um, and I was commuting to school, which was kind of not the best. I mean, it was good in some ways and bad in others. You know what I mean? Um, and then my mom's dad passed, and that was really sad. Um, and then around this time was also when I was like kind of getting into a relationship with the person I'm currently in a relationship with. We've been together since like I guess I'm not really focused too much on that because I'm still in this book. I'm still sad from the loss. Sad, 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 sad. But a little, some good moments. I was talking about how like my comedy group we like put on the show and it was like went really well and my friends came and it was fun to do that. I was taking physics. I don't know. I like finished my physics minor, but I feel like I know nothing about physics, and every time I remember that I was like in the physics class, I'm like, God, like what was I doing? Like I don't know. Physics is really cool, but it's so hard, and every semester I would just like so very barely scrape by. I think at one point, like this semester that I'm like reading about right now, I think I did like so poorly on this exam that my professor he was so kind. He was like, "Actually, why don't you just take it home and you can finish it there?" So I took it home and it took me so long to do and I like couldn't figure it out and then like after like hours I finally like got to an answer that kind of made sense. It didn't even matter if it was right or not. I was just like I did something at least. Oh, and I felt so triumphant once I got there. But physics is really hard, you guys. It's really hard. Shout out to my friend Sebastian. He was with me. We were in office hours together. He also commuted, so he understood the struggle. Oh my god. That was just crazy. I was like very focused on school at this point in my life. I think I had just like quit like this semester. I'm scrolling through right now, not scrolling, flipping through right now. I had quit radio station because it had gotten to be like too much and I was like, guys, I should actually like do school, which is, you know, like the main thing that I'm here to do. I should actually do school. So I was trying to do school, and then me and Ellen were also having this like a parallel life thing going on of us both kind of like getting into relationships at around the same time that had like parallel dynamics in a sense. This would later be signified by how me and like my SO wanted felt more aligned with one Indigo D'Souza song and Ellen and like her person felt more aligned with like another Indigo D'Souza song. Indigo D'Souza was very metaphorical in this sense. Um yeah, I was I feel like doing less theorizing. I was living like a very normal life. Like I was just living a life. I was not really thinking about I wasn't really thinking about so like the theories and the ideas like I was doing in this book. I was more just thinking about like the physical things going on in my life because like a lot was going on. Um, my mom was in Hong Kong for a long time, and it was even like a struggle to get her back to Hong Kong because of COVID. But she obviously had to go because, like there were just things she needed to do. Um, to sort of like take care. And I want to go too, but I couldn't go because I was in school and because of COVID, it would have taken so long. And that was like another point of grief too, that I wasn't able to like grieve fully in a way. But yeah, so that was going on. I was getting into a relationship. I was really doing school. It was really like school because I was commuting. So I don't know if anyone's ever commuted before, but when you're a commuter, I feel like school's your whole like it just takes so much time and so much energy. And like by the time you get home, you're so tired, but you have to like do your homework still and like yeah, it just takes a lot out of you, I feel. And now we're in the new year. We're in the new year of like January 2022. I remember I took um a an existentialism class here online, and that was kind of nice too. No one ever tells you the most important part of doing physics is to not freak out. Don't freak out. I'm trying not to freak out. We're not freaking out. We're being very normal right now. We're not freaking out. We're not we're not freaking out. Um I wrote insane women everywhere are talking about Sylvia Plath. I should actually read more of her. Like, I can't just read. The Bell Jar cannot be the only piece of literature from her that I read. Like, I was going so insane on these pages that, like, the paper ripped from my pen. And then I was, like, pulling together all my Chinese New Year money because I wanted to go to Europe. So I was trying to like finance it, and I had enough money. It was good because I like never spent my Chinese New Year's money, so I could. Um, and then I was in Europe, and I had this major falling out with my parents, kind of. Yeah, I feel like this. It's very. It began and ended. This journal began and ended with like major family events. With like started with my grandpa's passing and ended with like a major thing between me and my parents. And then in between, it's all sort of just like me focusing on these very material, tangible aspects of my life. Yeah, that's this book. Life as a commuter. This book is like not good. It's very bad. It's very bad. Because yeah, I mean, I went to Europe, right? What I'm gonna say is things did not go very well there. I went to Europe to be with my SO, and it was like this book. I titled it Paula from White Lotus, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what was going on. But it was very much that vibe. Sometimes, Jordan Peele Get Out, like, and then us like working through the ramifications of that after we both left Europe and we're like back in the US. it took up this whole book. It took up this whole book. I don't think like basically I'm pretty sure this runs for 6 months. Cause yeah, it basically things did not get resolved until like January 20 20, I guess 2023. Yeah, January 2023. Things did not get like more resolved. Things still aren't like fully resolved now, but they're like manageable. But things really like were like very. It was up and down with the relationship. I was like going crazy. It was, yeah. I was like a lot of self doubt, a lot of like wondering if I was like I don't know. They're just like it was putting me in such turmoil. I remember I like bought this book in Hong Kong when I was in high school, and I got it because I was like, oh, how goofy, like how goofy, because I know I always go insane in my journals. Um, but like, so to have a journal with like I'm fine on the cover, knowing that the inner pages will probably reveal myself to be not fine. I was like, how goofy, how charming. I literally, this is my least like this journal has like the most rancid energy. If y'all could just feel the auras emanating off of this book right now, like it was not good. It was not good. Glad that's done and over with. Thank you for the experience and the lessons, but next. This one's sweeter. I think my friend Rian might have also given me this one too. Um, oh my god, this this doesn't even go for 6 months. It goes from like it goes till November, like June to November, and then this like picks up in November, and probably goes until May at least. Oh wow, it goes until October 2023. Okay, because I was thinking May because I know like this was the I basically had like my last semester. I'm still technically a student right now, but I had my last semester of like on campus in person going to classes, student life, like spring 2023. So then at the end of that, I like walked because I had received like a few of my degrees, but I'm finishing up like another one right now. Um and I had like a bunch of my friends sign like yearbook message style message in the back. So that was cute. But yeah, what else happened in this? This basically also spans a year as well. I was really not writing like that because I mean, you will see the trend in these journals. I write the most when I have the most time to write, aka when COVID is bad. Um, I think I wrote more like at some point in the beginning of this journal because I contracted COVID. So I was just like literally in this room right here for 2 weeks. Um, and a lot of this beginning that I'm freaking. This is pretty though. This is very pretty. I should do more things like this because it's just fun to, it's fun to draw with crayons. I should draw more with crayons. Yeah. But I was freaking out because of the stuff going on with my relationship. Like, obviously, I don't know. I feel like I'm a pretty independent person for the most part. Like, I don't know. I really don't think my relationship defines me like that, but it definitely was just causing high intensity levels of psychic damage to me at that point in my life. So I was just writing and thinking about it a lot. But this was also when I was able to visit my friend Drew in Philly in January after I finished being sick. And that was so much fun. Um, and then I literally don't write. Like, I have like January, and then I have March 3rd, 2023, and then I have April 10th, 2023. Like, I am not writing. Um, this was fun though. We were doing a lot of parties at the house. I was like living off campus in a house with some friends. There was also some like issues with the roommates. So a part of that is in here too. But um I literally am not like it literally just skipped from I have like one entry a month. I have my March entry, my April entry, my May entry, and then my June entry. And then in June, after school is over, I'm I write more. Yeah, a lot of things. Like the irony is that it would probably do me most good to be journaling during these periods of my life that are more active. But I just don't really prioritize it like that. But I should really start. I should start. Um, yeah. Okay, the thing is, like, that year that we were living on campus, or like, yeah, like September 2022 to May, June 2023, that was honestly like a pretty fun year. But it does not show, it does not read because in the journals you only get like my mental anguish side of things. So in the journals, it's sort of like I'm just thinking about everything that's bothering me, and it's like relationship, roommate, relationship. But like this is in recent enough memory that I can look at it and go, that was actually kind of a good time. Like it was a good time. I had a good time. And then summer happened. That was last summer. It was pretty fun. This is like more recent memory. Hmm. Um, a lot of sort of like talking to myself, trying to trying to just like calm myself down. I do think like over the course of all these journals, I'm getting better at calming myself down. Um Life is about one thing and one thing only, trying to do as many of the things you want to do as possible. And sucking up to people for a job is just not one of those things I want to do. That's true. I'm being very real. I'm being very real in this journal. That summer was like crazy. I feel like a lot was happening. I was going kind of crazy because I felt bad because I didn't have a job or didn't have any like career plans, and like everyone around me was like doing career things. But it was also like me and my friend that had like we were like working on putting together our own zine, and then that like went really well, and I was also writing a lot more music, just like writing a lot more songs at the piano. So it was a very generative and creative summer, I think. But also, like when I was going through it, I felt kind of crazy because I always felt like everyone was like always doing more than I like hanging out. You know what I mean? I felt like people were always hanging out more than I was hanging out. And then in September, that was when I was able to go to Hong Kong finally for the first time since my grandpa passed, and I was there for a month, and yeah, it like wasn't the best all the time because I'd gotten sick. I think because I got COVID, my immune system deteriorated, deteriorated, and then I was literally sick for like 6 weeks at least, just like coughing. And I was going to these doctors and trying to get better. And like, I guess I wasn't acclimating well to like the air in Hong Kong or something. I literally feel like a Victorian storybook character saying this, but it wasn't. The air was not suited to me. I was not suited to be in that air. But I still had a good time there towards the end where I was like healing more. I was like, I went to like some dance classes. I went to art museums. We went to the horse races. I made some friends. I went to like this one rave in Hong Kong and met this like one DJ who's super cool. But yeah, this is sort of like the part where my life becomes more of a life. October 17th, 2023. This is around when I got back from Hong Kong, I think. I said, "Hi, my name is Sabina Lee, and this is how it's gonna be from now on." And then I write just a few affirmations for myself. Yeah, and then that's the journal. And it ends with all the yearbooks and like my last entry, sort of like going in, weaving in and out of the yearbook things. And then I think that leads us to this journal, which that one ends like, okay, is it November or no, it's October 17th. I don't know why I stopped. Oh my god. No, I know what happened. Shoot, there's like another journal. I don't know where it is. Will you guys wait for me if I go look? Wait, I'll be back. I'll be back. Okay, so the issue was that this journal ends in like October 17th, 2023, and I know for a fact this journal begins on like the 1st of 2024. So I'm like, there's a gap in the middle. There's no way I didn't journal because I remember writing things down. It's this journal, which I wrote in for just like a few pages and then I abandoned because like like the pages keep on like falling out of this book, like literally. Like I don't know if y'all can see them. It's I'm like, this is not a sustainable writing device. But this just it starts on election day, November 3rd. Oh no. Okay. No. I started writing in this in high school. And then I abandoned it. Beauty is found in life's moments. I abandoned it. I was trying to write like little poetic lines I came up with here and there. I abandoned it. I only wrote like one page of those. It starts October 18th, 2023. Okay, that's more like it. That makes more sense. And I'm just talking more about my trip, and then yeah, I'm doing some like reflection and work in terms of like how like living in the US I can be most ethical in a way, or I don't know. It's I'm just trying to figure some those things out. Halloween happens. I'm just like putting my thoughts down, trying to figure things out. Halloween happens, and it's a really fun. We had a really fun Halloween this year because I went to my friend Kyle's house, and we like went caroling basically around the neighborhood where he lives with like these other people that we just like met um a few weeks ago, and it was really fun. And then November, I that was when I was doing a lot of, well, I had a show. I had to perform an hour-long set. That was crazy. It was a fundraiser show though, and it went well. We raised like $600 in total for the two different organizations. I was like, that's really good. I'm really happy that is able to be done. You know. And then after that show, which was like beginning of November, I that zine that I was telling you guys about, like, after the show, I like saw my friend in person, and I was like, I don't want to do the zine anymore, and they were like, okay, cool, let's stop then. But it was like a thing that was sort of like looming over me because I was like, I don't know if that's gonna, you know, I was like, it just felt like a major thing to leave the zine. Because we had both like put a lot into it, and both were like talking about the future of it a lot. And then at some point, I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So then I sort of like tied up those loose ends of like, okay, this like, I've been practicing a lot for this show. I finished the show, or we did the show. We donated the money. We like did this zine, or like we finished up this zine. So a moment of like closure, rest, reflection, and then after that, I started doing more work on my capstone, like my senior project for school, and that was basically what November was. October, I was more like, or no, December. December, I was like, I basically spent the rest of November in my house, like, did not go out, just researching all day. December, I started to like go out again and got so distracted. I didn't work on the capstone at all that month. I made this little graph though, this graph about like what happens when I get interests. So it's a circle, right? Top, it's like get struck with a new topical desire. Research slash learn about ways of pursuing it, begin acting on it informally, get more excited, take the opportunity to act on it formally, get bored, get struck with a new topical desire. That is my cycle. I got inspired to do this because Ellen sent me like a cycle of how she feels with like at her different jobs and like with her different coworkers, because she gets, it's definitely an established cycle at this point. And then it's like, yeah, I guess December, because I was busier, I literally did not. I like basically didn't write anything. Because now we're all the way at the end of the 23rd. And then the 24th. And then that day was also kind of major. There was like another thing that happened with my parents. And then I ended it right there. No, nothing for the rest of it. Oh, and then like early December, I guess it was also kind of finishing up music stuff because I like self-released my album, which was cool and fun because I burned them all onto CDs and was like hand delivering them. So that was fun. So I guess this is kind of like the, I don't know, the in between journal, but it's not really a journal because I didn't really write in it, and I'm just gonna like use these pages, like use them for songs because my other songbook is running out of pages. And now we're finally here to the very end of our journey as it exists in the present. I kind of match my book. Red, 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 red. And black. Red and black. This is a book that I got from Hong Kong because one of the goals of going to Hong Kong was my mom wanted to clear out the apartment or clean up the house. I don't know, it's a very big pursuit, and she was not that successful in it. I also didn't really know how to help because I was like, I can't really. The major thing was like, are we gonna keep this or are we gonna throw this out? So she was also just like going through all the memories they had in this house. Um, and there's like a lot of physical ephemera to go through. But yeah, this is one of the notebooks that I saw in the apartment and that I want to take back with me. And I think this one has like a very sweet, charming energy to it. This is again is like sometimes the book itself just dictates how the journal is gonna be. I'm writing in this journal right now. You can see like that's so like all I've written, and then the very end, I'm like almost done. But I swear this book gets like heavier when I write in it, and like you see, it like literally gets like you can tell that someone's been saying something in here. But it starts um January 1st, and it's probably gonna end soon. What day is it? It's probably gonna end sometime in March or April because I'm almost to the end. But this has been very sweet. I think um I've been doing at the beginning. I was doing a lot of reflection on like my old friendships. So like this idea of like continuing on in the present while still carrying everything with you from the past, you know, not in a way where it bogs you down, but just in a way where it's like trying to acknowledge it or recognize it fully. I've been doing like projects this year, or I feel like I've just been like very like generative this year, doing a lot of writing. I wrote a movie at the end of January, so I was like writing a little bit about what it was like to write my movie, and then I finished a draft of my capstone like at the end of February. So I've just been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of reading, writing, taking it slow, trying to think clearly about what I want to do and what I want to say and how I want to live. And um I also started doing a lot of tarot. I feel like the energy to this book is just like very sweet. Me and my friend Caleb, I feel like we came to like a major realization within our friendship. Me and my friend Ellen also came to a major realization. And again, like I've been doing tarot, and I went to my first puja in this book because my friend Aditya was telling me about Saraswati, this Hindu goddess, and then he just invited me to puja. And alongside all the tarot I've been doing, I feel like it's just I don't know. I'm like getting more I don't know, just like allowing myself to be more of an observer of everything going on in this world rather than always needing to center myself in whatever is going on. You know? Like I know like I know I'm like centering myself by like literally making a YouTube video where I go through all these journals I've written through the years and like talking. It's very me, but I feel like I don't know. I assure you, or at least I hope, or like, but I think I'm trying to be more chill about things and more normal. And I think it shows. I think I'm more chill here. I'm not really like focusing on the um specific tangible events that are going on in my life. I feel like I'm doing more sort of like high level abstraction and reflection, almost in a sense, and like just like becoming more of a person in different ways. I was doing daily tarot card pulls for a while, so I have like all of those listed in here, but I stopped doing them because I was like I don't think I like I don't know. Sometimes it feels right to do them, sometimes it feels wrong. Right now it feels wrong. I feel like anything that they would tell me right now is just like, it's not like, I think tarot's best used when you're seeking guidance or maybe there's something that you really need to hear, you know. But I think at this point, if I do tarot, it's just gonna be like, girl, like, you know what you have to do, go do it, just go do it. I actually did a reading for Ellen yesterday night that was kind of telling her the same thing too. I did a drawing of the High Priestess, and here I'm like seeing if I can find it. But really sweet. I really like the High Priestess card. I feel very aligned with her. She comes out a decent amount for me. I feel also. Oh yeah. This is it's like a cute little drawing. Also, the card, like my actual cards. Do I have my cards here? Oh, they're right here. Like, on the cover is literally the High Priestess. My friend gave this to me as a gift too, so I don't know. I feel like it just feels nice to have her watching over me in a sense. There's a sweetness to this journal. And I don't know. Who knows what'll happen for like the rest of these empty pages? No one can know. No one can know. But yeah. Okay. So just to reiterate, let me walk you through everything that happened in my life since, I don't know, 2016. Weird journal, strange journal, off-putting, going crazy, not in the good way. Was not writing, was not journaling, just things happening and strangeness, oddness, weird, funky. Done. This, relationships going crazy, relationship issues going crazy, my friendships, things blowing up, quarantine started, COVID started, starting to think about myself in like a more productive way, you know, in like a more effective way. Starting to gain helpful self-awareness and self-consciousness. COVID, just having fun, going to group therapy, going crazy sometimes, also having fun other times, starting to write songs. I don't know. There is a certain level of lightheartedness to this journal. She was really having thoughts. In this journal, it spanned a whole year. It's on the front, it says in it for the long haul. I was in it for the long haul. I'm gonna be in it for the long haul. The long haul is life. I'm gonna be in this for life. I was thinking, I was reading, I was having thoughts, I was putting the pieces together. Here, I was like starting to put the pieces together. Here, I was like actually putting the pieces together. This is like the preface, the preamble, the foundation. This is the building, or the beginning of the building. I don't know, whatever. Next, commuting. Oh, I think it's upside down. Commuting. Things happening in my life again. Didn't really experience things happening in my life for these 3 because of COVID, but things started happening again here. It's an adjustment when things don't happen in your life and then things start happening again. So I was adjusting. annoying, so bad, so crazy, so bad, so crazy. Necessary growing pains, I don't know, whatever. Crazy. Working through it. Lots to process. Learned a lot, I guess. Maybe. Who's to say? Whatever. Next. Sweet. Sweet. I feel like there's like a vague hollowness. Something felt like unsatisfying sometimes. I couldn't really put my finger on it because it's like everything looks fine on the outside, but there was just like it felt like something was missing sometimes. But got over the relationship thing. Started living life more, freaking out, just not sure. Just there is a certain hollowness to this, the contents of this journal. I think it's just like uncertainty, not sure where you're gonna go next, just like floating. This is kind of about the freaking out I was talking about at the very beginning of this video. I was just floating. We're all just floating. No one's really sure yet. It was crazy. Aimless. Directionless. Floating. Just floating. A hollowness. A little bit fun. Fun while it lasted. Cute while it lasted. Yeah, the end of last year. Yeah. Things happening in my life. Again, fun things. More fun things, more lighthearted things. Having a good time where you can, but also thinking. Starting to reach that balance, living a life and thinking at the same time. Because you must do both. You simply must. It's good. I like this. It's sweet. Wow, now that I realize sort of like the subconscious way I'm affected by like the literal shape and visual styles of my journals, I'm like a little bit scared to pick my next one but it's like the chicken or the egg. Is it like the journal makes me write a certain way or feel a certain way, or like I pick that journal because I'm already feeling a certain way and it just feels most fitting, you know? And probably a little bit of both. But very sweet. I like tarot. I'm gonna do a video on tarot at some point. This video is so long. I cannot believe I've been talking about 90 minutes. That's crazy. That's crazy. 90 minutes, that's a movie. I made a movie. No. Just a sweetness. Wow. Okay. I feel better. I feel ready. I feel purged. I feel prepared to take on. Oh my god. I have to meet with my professor in half an hour. Okay. I feel ready. I feel prepared. I should look over my capstone before I talk to him. These are my journals. Cute, sweet. I should also eat something and drink water because I'm hungry. I haven't eaten all day. Okay. No, I feel better. I'm not gonna freak out anymore. I'm gonna be very normal. I'm the most regular girl who ever lived. It's very much okay. It's okay. Okay. See you later. Have a good day. Hope everything's going good. Okay. Kisses. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.